Okay, 2026 is the year that Medicare gets leaner. So there's a reduction in network flexibility across the country on a lot of these plans. Benefits like dental, vision, hearing, value-added services are being reduced on a lot of the 2026 plan offerings. So this is the year, if any year you pay attention, it should be 2026 because you could get stuck in a plan that has greatly reduced benefits from your years prior. So now is the time to pay attention. So let's get into the 5 biggest changes for 2026. Number 1, a reduction in dental, vision, and hearing benefits. So typically you're going to see plans, go down from like a $3,000 benefit allowance to even $2,000 or $1,000. So in a lot of PPOs, because they're more expensive to manage, you're going to see more of this. You're going to see more of the $1,000 limit on PPO plans, on the dental. And you also you could potentially see a reduction in vision and hearing benefits, or it may be a reduction in your out-of-network dental allowances as well. So these are things to pay attention to. Number 2, prescription drug benefits. This year, obviously, there's a $2,100 out-of-pocket max for individuals. So that is the most that somebody could spend for covered prescriptions. However, you may see a reduction in the drug formulary. You may see more drugs not appearing on the formulary. A couple of good things, this is the first year, 2026. Medicare has identified 10 prescription drugs for for a reduction in negotiated pricing. So for example, you may see a reduction in the cost of Eliquis, which is a popular one, okay? So again, we touch on the decline of the PPO options. PPO networks are a lot more expensive for the insurance companies to administer. Typically when they have to file out-of-network reimbursement claims, there's some ambiguity, there's some confusion there, which again lends to higher cost. So a lot of carriers are shifting towards a more HMO managed type network that are more local, right? So you're going to see a decline of the PPO options for 2026. There may still be some PPO plans in your area, but you'll notice they have much higher copays than what the plans were in 2025, or they have higher premiums. So you're going to see a rise in the monthly cost. You're going to see a higher out-of-pocket costs as well for things like doctor visits, MRIs, CAT scans, complex imaging. So cuts to value-added services like OTC benefits. So OTC benefits, you'll see a reduction in OTC benefits. There'll be benefits that you may have had in prior years that are not going to be on these plans. Like for example, a lot of plans had what they call a dental vision hearing allowance, which is different than a dental vision hearing benefit. These were extra like prepaid cards that they would give you to help pay copays. A lot of those types of services are being eliminated, okay? So cuts to OTC, cuts to other value-added services, in addition to the dental vision hearing cuts. You're going to see a lot of that. Medicare prescription payment plan. So if you were enrolled in the Medicare prescription payment plan, so what this does, if you call your carrier, you ask them to enroll you in this plan, it's going to spread your annual cost for your out-of-pocket for your prescriptions over the course of 12 months. You're going to pay to the carrier. You're not going to pay at the pharmacy. If you were enrolled in 2025, you're automatically going to be re-enrolled for 2026. If you call the carrier to disenroll, they have up to 3 business days to get you disenrolled from the prescription payment plan. So overall, some good things happening with the prescription benefits, but this does lend to the insurance companies having to increase copays in other parts of the plan because of the added risk that they took on having to cover this out-of-pocket max for the prescriptions, having lower drug pricing, and doing things like the prescription payment plan. So there is no increase in reimbursements to the carriers, so they have to compensate for that added risk. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these changes and reductions in some of the 2026 plan offerings. You can continue to Check us out for videos we have. We'll post another one right here about similar types of changes for 2026.